Eric Schmitt. Senators, what a pleasure to see you. Senator Scott, to you first. 1 hour and almost 3 minutes after this deadline, are the heads of agencies and departments doing what this memo orders them to do? Are all DEI employees on administrative leave as of 5 p.m.? Because knowing government and bureaucrats, who knows, but you would.
Well, it's my understanding they have been shut down. But look, these agencies are going to fight it. Thank God for President Trump. He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. It's great to be here with Senator Schmitt. He's been an absolute leader in this area, especially with regard to our military. But think about it. All federal workers ought to be done based on meritocracy. It shouldn't be based on diversity, equity, inclusion. It should be, how do we get the best workers to do it? So it's my understanding they're getting shut down. I'm sure there's going to be some games being played, but Trump's on the, he's going to watch this and he's going to make sure it happens.
So, Senator Schmitt, I want to talk about those games just for a second, because you can see how this is going to roll out, right? So they say you've got to get rid of these departments. Now, these guys have the people, they have the money, so you call it something different. You hide it, you bury it a little bit, you play that game. What does it look like to root that out? Because ultimately, if you want to fix the thing, you got to be able to hunt down as they try to hide everything.
Well, I think there's a couple different fronts in this effort here, and Senator Scott, he's been a leader on this stuff too. He really has, and from the business world has seen the destructive nature it's had in the private sectors too, which is another issue. But I think there's a few ways to get it. First of all, the electrical cord that ties together all of President Trump's cabinet picks is the reformers, right? You have to have cultural change from the inside, and it comes from the top. That's happening. You've now got the executive order to push this forward to make sure we root this out, and then also legislatively, we ought to enshrine this in statute to get us much further down the road. And I'll just also make this point. At the heart of it, this has nothing to do with opportunity for everyone. This is cultural Marxism. DEI was meant to divide the room by race, and it's poison. It's really harmed our military recruiting-wise. It's hurt the way the lens by which everything is viewed by the federal government now is this race essentialism. It's got to go. Glad President Trump won so he can do this kind of stuff. It's a big deal.
As Jason Riley writes today in the Wall Street Journal, he said it's discrimination in pursuit of racial balance. It's detrimental to national unity and destroys social cohesion. But just really quickly, Senator Scott, this is at a vast cost to the American people for again, disunity and division. This is what the American people have been paying for. Is there any way to put a price tag on the amount of money that will be saved by dismantling this DEI?
Yeah. Well, two things. One, we're going to find out how much money, and it's a lot of money that's been spent. But number two, it's productivity. And it's just, it causes confusion. It causes people to be mad at all these things. I'm a business guy. I wouldn't do this in my business. I would say I want the best people so I can have the best company so we can provide the best service. That's exactly what you should expect out of your federal government.
All right, I want to talk about another Trump executive order officially labeling cartels as terrorist organizations. The New York Times is none too happy about it. They claim it will somehow hurt the economy.
Writing this, and this is not an opinion piece, quote, isolating U.S. companies from cartel activities could be almost impossible, given that the criminal groups operate in sectors like agriculture and tourism, leaving some American businesses vulnerable to sanctions.
So, Senator Schmitt, just will you grapple with this for a second? Because my perspective on this would be, you know what? If it disrupts things a little bit, that's the point. We've got to fix some things. But tell me where I went wrong on that.
No, I mean, I can't even believe you're reading a real headline there. This is totally insane. Like, it would be like from The Onion or the Babylon Bee, but it's the New York Times. I think get ready for more of this. This is Trump derangement syndrome, and we're day 3 into this term. There's going to be more of these sort of histrionics. It's totally nuts. The cartels, I went down to the border when I was Attorney General and we were suing the Biden administration on these issues. The economic value of the human trafficking alone is $100 million a week. That's not even the drug trafficking that is killing people in our communities all across the country. President Trump was right to do this. The left, I mean, they have nowhere to go except object to things that President Trump is proposing. But the truth is, the American people are behind him. They want a secure border. They don't want the fentanyl in their communities. This is a national security risk, and the cartels are running the show, and that's about to end.
Right. This is a tactic of the media, Senator Scott, that you see it with, say, the rebuilding that's going to happen out in California, that if you somehow enforce our immigration laws, then
right.
California is not going to be able to rebuild. But talking about the cartels, cracking down on the cartels is going to hurt American business is just even one step beyond that.
Can you imagine a mom that lost her son to a drug, feel sorry for some company that worked with the cartel? I can't imagine any American should.
Senator Scott, let me, that's well said, by the way. Let me stick with you on this one. We're looking at cabinet nominees. And of course, you go back to our first topic on getting DEI out of these agencies. You need cabinet heads to help drive that. But Democrats, of course, are trying to delay. And so it looks like you guys are going to be working through the weekend, which I'm fine with. I don't know how you feel about that, but I say good if you get these guys confirmed. Is that going to happen this weekend?
I believe it is, and we have to. At this point, I think Obama had 12 cabinet members confirmed, and we have 1. So this is just, people. The Democrats don't want Trump to put his team together. They're going to fight this. Trump won the election. He won the popular vote. He won the electoral vote. He needs to be able to put his team together. But the Democrats are just obstructing.
Senator Schmitt, what tactics are they using? Because I can sit here and rattle off nominee after nominee the people who haven't even had their confirmation hearings yet.
Well, the Senate can operate with consent, and they can vote how they want to vote, or they can, have these objections that they're having, which prolongs the process. So the truth is, we can do this the easy way with their cooperation, or we can do it the hard way, which is to grind them down, and it looks like we're going to have to do it the hard way. But no matter which way they want to go, we're going to get this done. President Trump's going to get his team. We're going to save this country from the craziness over the last 4 years. He deserves the right to have that. I think the Senate's going to confirm all of his picks, and the Democrats can either work with us, they can work against us, but no matter what, he's getting his team in place.
Do you give us a date? Do you have any sense of when every cabinet nominee might be seated? Schmitt, Scott, jump ball.
I think they're each, like Pam Bondi, for example, exceptionally qualified. We're going to have her vote next week in the Judiciary Committee, and I would anticipate that'll be reported to the floor. So I would think in the first few weeks, our goal is to get almost all of these done. And again, the Democrats can work with us to have the votes. They can vote no. Some of them are going to be bipartisan. Some of them won't. No matter what, we've got the votes. If Republicans stick together, we can get these nominees through, and that's our intention.
I think Senator Schmitt wins the jump ball, but I suspect Senator Scott's got a good, 3-point shot. So in that one-on-one game, it could be a toss-up, Dagan. That's what I'm saying.
It'd be a great team.
Yeah. He's a great point guard. I'll just do all the rebounding.
That's what I'm thinking here.
Senator Scott, final word to you before we go.
Well, it's a big opportunity for the American public. We're going to get these nominees done, and President Trump is bringing common sense back to government.
There you go. Senator Schmitt and Scott, thanks for being with us today. Good to see you.
Nice seeing you.
Good to see you, bud. It's that time of the year again. All